Yeah, that's TV friend.
What happened after? So then her two friends said, no, I'm teasing. No, I'm not. So that speaks to the power of television. That, over the span of my career, I've been on television long enough and in the wrestling industry long enough that people recognize me. And I'm still around now, right? So I think something really important to take into consideration is during my time in WWE, Monday Night Raw was averaging about 5 to 5.5 million viewers a week.
Wow.
I think SmackDown was at around 3, somewhere thereabout. But at the peak, if I'm not mistaken, and I might be fudging these numbers a little bit, but not much, I think like there were 50 million people around the world watching WWE at that time.
That's amazing.
So I was on their television long enough, and it was strong enough television that when I left WWE to go to Japan, and even then, after I spent time in Impact, which had a much, much smaller television footprint, for several years after that, I just worked on the independents and was able to keep my calendar as busy as I wanted it to be. So the power of television is incredible. And that's for so long what drove the professional wrestling industry. Television. The live event was where everybody made their money. That was the cash gate. So television is what made people go to the live shows. Now that dynamic has since changed. But when you consider the fact that I was on television for WWE during a time when there was approximately 50 million people tuning in around the world, there are a lot of people that know who MVP is.
Facts.
And I'm still fascinated by it because, to your point, some of the places that I'm at sometimes where I get recognized,
I was about to add, like, how do you gauge safety?
So part of it, I in my younger days, I put myself out there fooling. Shout out to Nims, hanging out in those Dwyer projects in Brooklyn, smoking blunts in the stairwell.
Shout out Nims.
And Poison Pen.
Oh, Pen.
Just Beige. Yeah, we was all hanging. Some other people I don't remember. But I just remember somebody in the group said, yo, John Cena would never. I said, yeah, because he's a way smarter businessman. Be in the projects in the stairwell smoking blunts in Brooklyn at 2 a.m. But I say that to say this, like, I remember, again, like, safety, right? I put myself out there. I used to go to Washington Heights, which is the Dominican section of New York, to get my cornrows done because Dominicans, the hands of God. When it comes to your hair care, Dominicans, Dominican barbers, Dominican hairstylists, there's something about the Dominicans. I think Dominicans are to hairstyling what like the Vietnamese are to nails, like just craftsmen, and women. So I used to go to the spot where I used to get my hair taken out, washed, blow dried, colored, get the trenzas is what they call them in Spanish, cornrows, trenzas, And then I used to go to the spot right across the street that they had Dominican food. I'd get a plate, some chicken and rice.
And eat inside?
Yeah, I eat right there.
You're wild, P.
No, I'm now wild. Then I had a blunt, and this is New York before it was legal. This is when you were still getting cased up for. This is 07, maybe. And I want this blunt, and I'm in Washington Heights, and I don't really know anybody around here. And Uber didn't exist yet. I was getting car service.
Yeah.
And I feel like, okay, I'm gonna stand right here on the street, and there's a gutter,
Okay.
So if the cops roll up on me, by the time I don't have anything else on me, so I'll just throw it down there, and they could, pat me down. I'm clean. So I break out this blunt. And I just spark it right down the street. Washington Heights. We in Dominican town. I'm spark it. I'm hitting it. I'm just chilling, standing down the street, minding my own business. And down to my left, about, 10, 15 feet, like two young Dominican dudes, some kid.